Paul wrote his second letter to the Thessalonians just a few months after he wrote his first letter. Remember, Paul was in Corinth writing to the church in Thessalonica, and apparently what had happened after Paul's first letter is that the believers in Thessalonica misunderstood some of his teachings about the second coming of Christ. And so Paul writes this letter to sort of clear up the misunderstanding. And we'll see that more in chapter 2. But for this chapter, Paul is going to just sort of introduce once again. It's a letter after all. So he says this letter is from Paul and Silas and Timothy, and we're writing to the church in Thessalonica, to you who belong to God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And then he just encourages them in this first chapter. Dear brothers and sisters, we can't help but thank God for you because your faith is flourishing and your love for one another is growing. And you can read this for yourself. Again, Paul's kind of like a proud father. He loves them. He's encouraging them before he sort of leans into some of the instruction that we're going to see in the next chapter. He says in verse 11, so we keep on praying for you, asking our God to enable you to live a life worthy of his call. May he give you the power to accomplish all the good things that your faith prompts you to do. Now, again, it's a short opening chapter, and he's just sort of setting it up for what we're going to see in the next chapter, where he's really going to start addressing some of the misunderstandings that came out of his first letter. So anyway, you're ready to read this chapter 1, and we'll see you tomorrow for chapter 2.